Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Roy Hamada, working at National Institute of Technology, Asahikawa College. For the sake of my research colleague, Dr. Tomomi Kaneko, I am going to explain what is the detailed plan of ISAGA Summer School 2021 from now on. Now, I'd like to share my screen. Firstly, I'd like to mention to you that this PowerPoint and this speech is based on the information that we gained by June 23, 2021. Like COVID-19, everything is changing in recent days. So perhaps something might be occurred after the recording. Please acknowledge this limitation and please understand what is our idea to operate ISAGA Summer School 2021. ISAGA Summer School is separated into 3 sites. First one is in Hokkaido, University of Science. That is Tomomi's affiliation. It will be supported by JASAG, and it has some students. We are going to have 2 more hosts. One is in New Zealand, conducted by Dr. Heidi, and the other one is in Sweden, that Dr. Sebas is going to take care. Maybe to find the host and co-hosts, we need the official rule that is approved by ISAGA EB. However, this year, we have no time to do it. Therefore, to testify new renovated ISAGA Summer School really work or not is included in our trial. We will try to do it based on the personal relationships. We have been consulted with Dr. Heidi and Dr. Sebas since 2020, before the Corona era. Therefore, we are going to maintain those international groups by using internet partially. Those 3 sites will gather small number of students. For example, Japan, New Zealand, and Sweden. Each of the country will gather the students. In my idea, less than 4. 3 is too small, but 5 should be maximum number. Those students will be taken care by local hosts, and they will create a game and they will compete their game in front of reviewers. 3 sites will be connected via internet. However, we have to consider the time difference. That is a serious issue. I will talk about that story later. And here I show the basic flow and required actions of ISAGA Summer School 2021. Firstly, we define the conference team. That is analog business game to be able to demonstrate online. Once again, analog business game to be able to demonstrate online. Firstly, we will reconfirm the summer school team. Nextly, since we are going to have a gaming contest, we have to address the evaluation policy clearly. Then, individual session will be held in each campuses following their local time. As you know, to follow the foreign time while doing daily works by using a computer is quite a tough duty, even for us. Therefore, students to minimize their task and to let them concentrate on game development should be better. We will continue this process for 4 days. On the first day, we confirm the summer school team and evaluation policy will be explained. Then day 2, 3, 4, they create the game. And at the end of the fourth day, the game materials should have to be delivered to reviewers by PDF or something. For example, by using scissors, easy to cut, and they can get the set of the cards and so on. On the day 5, students host a game workshop via Zoom to the reviewers. We considered carefully and we found the possibility to students participate other teams game. However, the time difference between New Zealand and Sweden that exceeds 11 hours. Therefore, while preparing their own session that continues 2 hours and wait for the other teams understanding their games and participate their games will be a too hard task for students. Therefore, we considered that review will be done by same person's set. That is consist of 4 persons maybe. And they are professional and executive of ISAGA. ISAGA 2011 is going to be held at the beginning of September. Therefore, we will open the ISAGA summer school session there, and we will the review and award will be opened to the public, and they will be rewarded as a gold medalist, silver medalist, or bronze medalist with detailed reasons. That is the basic flow of our idea. The date is Monday, August 23 to Friday, August 27. Monday to Friday, totally 5 days. We are going to set 3 sites. Main site is in Sapporo, Japan, and Tomomi will be a leader of local host. In Oceania site, in Christchurch, Canterbury University, Dr. Heidi will open her site. Meanwhile, in Europe, Dr. Sebas and Dr. Martin will meet in either of the city, Kosminski or Stockholm. Currently, temporarily, we will consider it will be managed by Dr. Sebas in Sweden. But anyway, we will have three sites: New Zealand, Japan, and Europe. But we have to consider the time difference seriously. When Dr. Heidi's site is ready to go, for example, 9 a.m. is comfortable for her, but it is too early for Japanese students and also European students and European hosts as well. Therefore, we have to consider the time as much as possible. For example, we will start the Oceania group will join in evening in their time, and the Japanese team will join mostly in their daylight time, and European team will attend in the night. But this is against the people's against the human beings living way. Therefore, we are going to separate the individual session. We cannot continue such a tough session for 5 days. On the first day, we have to address what is the requirement of game competition. And also we have to remind the students what is the meaning of ISAGA Summer School. Therefore, we will do it despite we have time differences. However, for second day to fourth day, everything will be organized by local hosts, and we don't deny to use their native languages. If there is a 5 Japanese only, it makes no sense to use English intentionally. They can use Japanese when they are working under the supervision of Japanese host. However, they have to speak English and they have to do their workshop at the end of the day in English. What we have to do before ISAGA Summer School 2011? Renovation plan has been submitted by me and it has been already approved by ISAGA EB by May. And today I am talking about detailed plan on June 20, June 23. I wish it will be approved by ISAGA EB as well. Nextly, we have to proceed to the next stage, call for students. However, this is a trial stage. ISAGA Summer School 2021 includes the characteristics of trial. We cannot do everything formally. Otherwise, ISAGA Summer School 2021 will be simply delayed. Therefore, we have already called up some students in Japan. We are going to have 5 students, 4 to 5 students. For New Zealand and for Sweden, they have their idea to gather some number of students as well. We have no time to call for participants worldwide, but we have to discuss in next year if this way works well. Okay, so nextly we have to find out the reviewer for the gaming contest. As a chair of gaming contest, Dr. Hidehiko Kanegae already approved and looking for other colleagues to evaluate the game. His duty is to attend the last day's session and play 3 games via online, but using a physical item in front. Anyway, they have to fight against the time difference. So it should have to be very tough work. And considering the time difference between Japan and Europe, it is quite difficult to invite other time zones reviewers. So I propose ISAGA EB, a reviewer of the games, should be gathered within the local saga that hosts main sites, or it will be gathered from the country that time difference is not serious. Otherwise, operation will be too much complex. Okay? So we are going to form the reviewer group mostly by JASAG members. If you have alternative, better ideas, please notice me as soon as possible. YouTube-based reviewer is possible to be considered. However, that kind of how to select the reviewer and what is the authority of reviewer, what is the right of reviewer, what is the prohibited action of reviewer, conflict of interest related story and so on. Those kind of stories should have to be summarized in the manual. Anyway, further discussion is needed. However, currently we have no time to complete everything. Okay, so this is a detailed schedule. From the left side, New Zealand time, Japan time, and Euro time. From New Zealand, it is an evening session. On Japan, it is a early evening session. In Euro, it is a morning session. We will have an opening speech by Dr. Hidehiko Kanegae, president of ISAGA in 2015 to 16. Then we will make a ice breaking and self-introducing together. It will be operated by Tomomi as a chair of ISAGA 2021. We will have a game to extend our image together. That is a very easy game called supply chain collaboration game, one of our invention. Nextly, Hamada will address what is the meaning of ISAGA gaming contest and ISAGA gaming contest rule, grading policy, and those necessary information will be provided to the students that are staying in 3 sites on the horizon. Then we will have a small farewell party via online. However, we can't spend too much time because in New Zealand it is already 9 p.m. From day 2 to day 4, manage locally in local time and using local language. It should be most comfortable for the participants. Of course, there is an option. We can access to the ISAGA's wisdom archive. For example, 1 day, 1 hour per day. That is one of the options that local host should decide. Thanks to Dr. Vinod's efforts, ISAGA 2021 is repeating very good seminars and everything's are recorded in YouTube. Therefore, it is possible to it is possible to include the best practice in case they need. Students and local staff shall stay in the same hotel and donate their time to game building for 3 days. That is the ISS in ISAGA Summer School's tradition, sharing the knowledge, know-how, and becoming a friend throughout the co-game development that is important. Therefore, I don't want to consider that individual sites will be also Zoom session. That is, that is no good. That doesn't contribute to make a good friendship. If we can do it by world level, it is okay. Instead, in such a case, we have to be suffered against the traveling expense, time, and those related stories. They are trade-off. Instead, we can't become a friend internationally, student and students in Japan and New Zealand. It will be quite difficult to communicate. However, at least in those small sectors, they can become a great friend by using games, sharing the emotion. Emotion is a glue to stick people's mind and mind. To share the same timeline beyond the time zone via Zoom for 5 days is too much bored and too much tough for them. They can't do it. Small items like card, dice, notes, seats, and so on that should have to be ready to be printed. And those data should have to be delivered to the reviewers at the end of day 4. And they will print and make a card and prepare dice in case need some other small items. They will print the seats and so on. That is the individual duty that comes from other sites. On the day 5, from New Zealand team, they will start the presentation or workshop. That is 2 hours. 2 hours is enough to explain and demonstrate what is their game and what is their idea. They are recorded and uploaded to the YouTube, and later it will be considered as a wisdom of ISAGA. Including enough break time because it is a so hard task for the reviewers as well. So, there is one of the reasons that reviewers should be Japanese. In this case, it is most comfortable. If there is one person, one reviewer who lives in the different time zone, everything will be a very complex story. So only on 2021, we will try this way, whether it works or not. Okay, so we will same reviewers. The number of reviewers should be 4 or 5, depend on the game. But basically, same reviewers play 3 games and grade following the grading policy. And if possible, we will have a small party. However, we have to consider the New Zealand time. After the session, all reviewers will record, all reviews are recorded in the Google Forms, and questions to the individual teams might be delivered to the team, and they have to answer to the questions. And in case they need, they have to show the revised version. Uh, after this feedback session, formal review score will be recorded, and recommendations and comments are sentenced and noticed to individual teams, including their scores. Students prepared a short presentation for awarding ceremony. And from September 6 to 11, we have ISAGA 2021 in India, but mostly online. We have already booked the time to do a ISAGA summer school session for 60 minutes. That includes student speech, reviewers' encouragements, and chairs' comments, and so on. That is our idea to manage the ISAGA 2021. I wish you will recognize our idea, understand our idea, and I wish you will acknowledge, you will approve your idea as soon as possible and provide us the best support to us from Japan. That is our message. Thank you very much. Goodbye.